All right, as far as making money in crypto or anything, actually, I want to do so with the least amount of brain usage possible. So I've set up some systems that allow me to do this without having to use too much brain power. So here we go. This is Ethereum. Now, if anybody here trades crypto, you know that ETH moves with Bitcoin, Bitcoin moves with ETH, ETH moves with XRP. Everything kind of moves together right now. There'll be some exceptions to that rule, especially coming up here. There might be some exceptions, but for the most part, especially Bitcoin and ETH, they're kind of joined at the hip. So they are going to move together, and I'm going to use an ETH chart, even if you're a Bitcoin fanatic, because ETH's chart is just a little bit cleaner, even though the moves are almost identical, especially on a large view. When you're talking about really close micro timelines, then yeah, okay, you might have some differences, but on the large moves, they're going to be pretty much the same. So let's simplify this. I know everybody online tries to make this so difficult, and you have these guys like Michael Saylor that are always buying at the top and selling at the bottom, and you're like, why are they doing that? Well, because they're not putting any effort into coming up with a system that will allow them to buy bottoms and sell tops. It's never going to be exact, but it's going to be pretty damn close. All right, let's look at the playing field. So what we've got here is we've got Ethereum. We've got it on a 1 day, a 1 week, and a 1 month. That 1 month, I actually hate that timeline for Ethereum. Every asset has its favorite timelines for my system. And what I've done is I just kind of scroll through until I find the timelines that match up with the pivots, and then I lock those in. This goes for stocks as well. I have a whole list of stocks that have different timelines that match up together, but that give the most accurate pivots on short and long-term trades. Okay, so let's talk about this Ethereum chart. We're going to go ahead and look at the weekly first. The weekly is right here in the middle. All right, so let's take a look at this. I'll show you what I see. Let's talk about this one right here. This was back in April of 2025. It's a good one to use. We had a nice pivot. So I'm going to tell you what I see, and then I'll show you what we're looking at right now, current time, after we can kind of go over what I'm looking at. All right, first we got this buy label here. This is I coded this this indicator. It's the only one that you don't have access to. Everything else here is free on TradingView. This one is just kind of a combination of a few different things. But that's, you don't have to use them, but I use them. And as you see, they're really accurate. Look how they nail those pivots. But what I do is I look at these free ones and I use them to kind of back up what my labels are showing me. I don't want to just use one thing. I want to use several different things. I get more confidence in going into a trade. Now, as you see, these are set up not for day trading. You can day trade if you want, and I'll probably make another video and show you how to use these exact same indicators on intraday trading. But I would recommend, if you're really trying to make money and stay in this industry for a while, where you're actually trading or even investing short-term, long-term, get away from the day trading. Most people will blow their banks up 10 times before they realize they should probably just be going to higher timelines. Anyways, back to the charts. 1 week, here we are. We're going to go ahead and look at this March 2025. So we get this nice buy label here. All right, so what else am I looking at here? First, anytime I get a buy label or a sell label, I want to see that there was some sort of decent move leading up to it. As you see, this was a nice long drop. When did this drop start? This drop started like December 2024. So you're talking December, January, February, March. Okay, you're talking about 3 months. This is a nice 3-month drop. That's pretty good. And now I have a little bit more confidence that this is the real deal. So I get this, and then what I do is I'll drop down here to the next one. This one is free on TradingView. It's the Fu Manchu B with divergences. You can go to, you can buy the most updated version, which is actually called Market Cipher B. That is a paid version. This is just a free one, and I actually, if you punch up the free one, it's not going to look exactly like this one. I got rid of a lot of crap on here I didn't need, and I just left the stuff that I needed and that I wanted. And so that's how I have this one set up. So what am I looking at when I drop down? Well, first thing I want to see is on this is going to be a buy signal, obviously. So I want to see a nice low momentum wave. So I got these nice dashed lines here. It's a pretty good guide. If it hits that dashed line or gets close to it, I'm pretty happy with it. Second, I want to see this green dot right here. That's the buy signal for this indicator. And on the weekly, it's pretty accurate. And so I've got a nice low momentum wave. It goes all the way down to this dashed line. I got this green buy signal, and I already have this one up there. I'm pretty happy. Okay, this is going pretty good. Now I go down again. This one, guys, this is a pretty easy one. This is that stock RSI with the RSI. It's just an overlay. You can get them on TradingView. There's a bunch of places that have them both combined together. All I did was I've got this red dashed line that's at the 80 value and a green one at the 20 value. That's all I did. A lot of people use 70-30. I found with my trading, 80-20 is a little bit better for me. So we got the buy label. We've got this nice low momentum wave. Now we got a green dot. Now I go down and I take a look. I'm not really that interested in the RSI, which is the yellow line. I'm more interested in the stock RSI. I like to see something below the 20 if I'm going to go for a buy. And then what I like to do is get it over there, and I want to see it start to angle up. Even touching the green dashed line, I'll feel pretty good at. And once I have that, I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. I like what I'm seeing. I'll go down here. And finally, the MACD, another free indicator. You guys can get that 20 different places on TradingView. So what I want to see is, this looks pretty ugly. There we go. I want to see this blue line start to turn over. See how it's going down, 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 down. And now I see it start to flatten out. I can see these are weakening, right? You're getting shorter bars on this histogram, and you got that nice pink look instead of the red. Okay, great. And when this starts to come over, the ultimate is the crossover. So right there, you got that crossover. And then you're pretty sure that this thing is going places. And when you're talking about a weekly, when you're get in on a weekly, you're in for a ride. You're in for a few months. 3-4 months, sometimes more, right? But it's really, really accurate. If you try to do this exact same trading style on a 5-minute timeline to do day trades, yeah, it'll work sometimes, but because of all the noise, and every time Trump puts something out on Truth Social, or something else happens, a report gets released, or whatever, things can go wacky really quick. That's not going to bother you on the weekly. So you can stick money in here and sit there for 3 months. And with all these things lining up, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make some cash. So, and I'm just looking at the weekly. I'm not even matching it with the monthly and the daily yet. So, okay. So here we go. So we got in, let's just say we got in right around, let's even call it worst case scenario, $2,000. $2,000 for an Ethereum. Okay, great. So if we got in at 2,000, let's just say we had $50,000 laying around. Do not ever use leverage, but if you do, use really low leverage. Let's just say you used 3 times leverage. That's not a lot. Some people use 100 times leverage, but you use 3 times leverage, your liquidation is still going to be pretty low. And if you have everything lined up here, you're pretty confident that you're going up with this. So you get in at 2,000 and you wait until all those things line up in reverse. I've got a sell. I come down here. I have a high momentum wave and I have a sell dot. I've got my stock RSI. It's above the 80 line and it's starting to bend down. I've got my MACD. I'm getting weaker on the histogram color and size. And I'm getting this blue line turning over out. All right, so let's just say it says for 30 or 4,300. Let's just say you got out at 4,000. So 4,000, you got in at 2,000, you got out at 4,000. You used $50,000. You got 3 times leverage, which means you're trading with 150,000. So let's just do a little math here. Hold on, let me see if I can find the calculator here. Okay, hold on, dragging it over now. All right, so if you're using 150,000 in trading capital because you multiplied your 50 grand you had burning a hole in your pocket by 3, and whoops, and you divided it by your ETH price, which we're going to call that 2,000. So you got 75 ETH. All right, well, 75 ETH times the 2,000 profit you made from 2,000, went from 2,000 to 4,000. You just made yourself a handy $150,000 off of $50,000. And how long did that take you? Well, April 2025, and let's just say August. So we're talking about 4 months. So with $50,000, you just made $150,000 in about 4 months. All right, not too unhappy with that. Now, if you're a short seller, we just went through all these same things going down. There you go. You get in, and you ride this all the way down. Now, if you get down to a level and all of a sudden this thing starts messing with you, you could get out. You can see that I like trend lines. So if I don't like what's going on, it starts going up too aggressively, I might just get out and take my profits. And then if it keeps messing around, I'll just draw that trend line and wait for it to get done messing around. That's it. Sooner or later, this guy's going to get tired. Break down below that thing. And if it does, you can look. I'm going to go ahead and do a line here so you can see it. There you go. Actually, it broke through right here. Okay, so you can go down and see what lined up. Okay, we got this nice sell dot. One thing I didn't mention that I actually like to look at is this. This is money coming in and out of the market. So see how it kind of arcs over right here? That's exactly what this did. When it arcs down and goes into the other color, the red, that's usually a really good indication you're in for a dump. And so that's exactly where we were. So I'd be really confident putting that in, that trade in. We got it on the sell dot. This one bent back down. This one went from a light color pink to dark red again and just kept heading down. So pretty happy with that. Same thing here. If you don't like what's going on, it's sideways too long, you can get out and get in, but tell you the truth, that's not even a big deal. If I don't have any other indications that this trade is going sideways, I might just leave it in depending on how long you want to leave it in. All right, and this went all the way down till recently, and this was a signal we got recently. And let's just say you waited until you got out at, let's just say 1,700. So if you got in at 4,000 and got out at 1,700, and you can kind of do that math. Okay, so that's just a little over $2,000, right? And so you can go ahead and do the math. We just did it before, so you just made that cash as well. This is a continuous cycle. This does not stop. Recently, and this now is, you can see it on the daily too. Recently, we got the buy signal on the weekly. The only thing different, you can look down and see how everything lines up. The only thing different here is you have this divergence on this Fu Manchu or the market cipher. All right, when you have that divergence, that's a pretty strong signal, especially on the big timelines. That's something good's happening. Now, you don't want to leave it in too long. Great. You get this buy signal on the weekly. If you look over at the monthly, that buy signal is even showing on the monthly. You got a monthly and a weekly showing up, there's probably something pretty good going on. And at the same time, this one showed up on the daily. You've got some nice levels that have been respected here, here, even here, all the way back to 2023, which is right here. These levels have been respected. So I'm pretty happy. We'll go over to the daily here. I'm pretty happy putting a trade in. Maybe I just want to trade for a week and not get into one of these 3 or 4 month deals. Oh, that last trade, just so you know, was, let's just say September 25 till right now, till June. Okay, so that was a lot longer than the other one. That was like a 9-month trade, okay? If you wanted it to be, you could have got out and got back in, got out, you could have done all kinds of stuff in here. But if you just left it, that was a nice 9-month trade. That's a lot less stressful, guys, than day trading. All right, so you got these a weekly, you got the monthly, which is huge, and now you're waiting for the daily to line up. So you got this nice daily hitting. that's got some divergence too. So even if you just got in here and grabbed this quick rise to 1900 from, let's just say 1600, 16 to 19. So you got $300 there. Well, in the price of ETH, it went up $300, and you started on this whole trade June 29th, and you ended it right now. So about a month. Okay, so in about a month, let's go ahead and find that calculator. I don't know why I got rid of it. All right, so I think we said we had 75 ETH we're playing with, and we made $300 per. That's $22,000 in that month period if you got out when this daily said to sell. Now, does the weekly say to sell? No. Does the monthly say to sell? No. In fact, the monthly has not completely turned over yet. Let's go ahead and check out the monthly a little bit, because we didn't talk about that yet. What do we look at? Well, we want to see the buy signal. We want to see that next candle. As you can see, that next candle is almost always the color you want this thing to be going. So it's sitting on it, which is nice because, a lot of these indicators, they're telling you after the fact. This is telling me before the fact that I got something good coming. And that's what I like about this indicator. So we got this nice green one. This is not closed yet. This has got 8 days left. I do not have a buy dot down here on this one, but I do have some of the money flow heading up in the right direction. See that? That's real important to me. You want to have that. It's kind of crucial. You do have the MACD down here weakening, went from that dark red to that pink color. This blue line is not yet turned over. Hoping it's going to turn over after that 8 days is gone, right? This has not shown us this for a long time. There, March 20th. March 2020, it showed us this. And then look at this that we had. These aren't bad trades. You can use these other indicators for these other trades. This one, for example, hit that level perfectly. This lines up. This just touches that dashed line and goes. This one weakened, and then the line turned over. So there's a lot of good things about these other trades, but these would probably be better shown on the weekly. This one, not great. Let's go ahead and put this on 3 weeks. I want to show you something for a sec. If you put this on 3 weeks, let's just say you had that 150 grand or that 50 grand and you're doing the 3 times leverage, burning a hole in your pocket. Let's just say for a second that you just had access to the MACD. You couldn't even see the damn charts. Let's go ahead and give us a line here that we can follow. Let's start right here. Look down at the MACD. Don't look up. Wait until the MACD weakens. That color goes from dark red to light red, and then make sure that blue line is neutral or heading up. We're going to put it right there, and then we'll go ahead and look up at the price. Okay, now I want you to go all the way up and look what candle you're on. You're on that candle. So what if based on that MACD you just got in right there, you put your 150 grand of ETH into the market on a buy? All right, all you had access to was this MACD. All right, now follow this MACD. Only look at the MACD for a second. And I want you to go all the way until it goes through the green and then right that next one and it weakens. Right there. You got in here. You got out here. That's 1,500 per ETH. And remember, you had like 75. We were able to buy 75 ETH approximately with what we were playing with. So let's just say you had 50 ETH. And you were able to go from 2,500 to 4,000 and 1,500 per ETH. All right, let's go ahead and check that out. Let's just say you had 50 ETH at 1,500. Just made 75,000. Just looking at this MACD. In what time period? April 25 to October 25. So we got April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months. Not a bad paycheck, right? You just looked at the MACD. All right, so you're looking at the MACD and now you're going short. All right, so you decide, well, the MACD worked that other time. I'm going to go short. So you got in, let's just call it 4,000. And now just follow this MACD over all the way down, all the way until it weakens. And then we're right here. I'm going to the top of this candle too. 2,200. What did we start at? 4,000 to 2,200. That's 1,800 per ETH. So that's even more than $75,000. All you used was the MACD. All right. So what I'm trying to say is you could use any one of these and actually get decent entries and exits. When you use all of them at the same time, that gives you the confidence to go a little bit heavy. And that's what I like to do. I don't like to go heavy until I have confluence between all these different things that I've set up. And it works, period. So, though you're not seeing all the buy-sell labels, no, but you are seeing all of these things. Again, these are all free for you guys. I'm not selling the other one, just so you know, I don't sell anything. So it's not like I'm going to put a link down there and try to sell you my magical potion. No, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just another idiot on YouTube telling you guys what I do, what I look at. That's it. So do I care if the Bitcoin bottom is in yet? Nope, I surely don't. I took this trade, got in here, and I got out there. Do I think it's going to continue up? Yeah, eventually it will. Do I want to be in for the downside? Nope. So I'm going to wait until that daily turns over again, and then I'll get back in. And what does that look like? Well, it could be a buy dot. This could turn over. The stock could turn, or the MACD could turn over. These could go dark green. A lot of different things can happen. So right now, I'm pretty happy with this move right here. Anyways, that's just the start of it. What I'll do in the future is I'll show on shorter timelines, smaller timelines, how you can apply some of these things onto intraday trading, which, again, especially if you're new, I do not recommend. It's better to go in big on something really, really solid than go in mid-sized on something that could turn around in an instant. Could any of these fail? Yeah, absolutely. Black swan events, everything could go to zero tomorrow. We don't know. So you always want to make sure that risk management is solid. You always want to have your backstop set up. And don't be the guy who uses 100 times leverage. And even though it was the right trade, because somebody made a statement on some social media platform and it wicked you out, and now you've got no more capital. Don't be that guy or girl. All right. All right, that's it for now. I'm going to sign out and wait for the next one.